Hello, BookTube. My reading plans for this week went to hell on Saturday, so I'm going to make this video and discuss what I will be reading over the course of this work week, as well as some additions to my February TBR. So let's get going. So, over the course of this work week, Monday through Friday, I will be reading the first 6 volumes of Orient by Shinobu Ohtaka. This is a shonen manga series set in an alternate Sengoku period of Japan, in which demons have conquered Japan and have oppressed the people. 2 young boys, Musashi and Kenjiro, aspire to become samurai, whose surviving bands are the only people opposing the demons. When they grow up into older teenagers, Musashi is training to be a miner. The demons eat stones and jewels, and Kenjiro is an outcast because he comes from a samurai family. So I read this first volume several years ago, and I liked it. And I last year picked up the next 5 volumes to volume 6, and I've been meaning to get around to the series, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So I really need to get around to it. And I'm also going to be reading the first 3 omnibus volumes of One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. So, One Piece is one of the most famous manga in the world. It has been for nearly 25 years now, and it's about a young man named Monkey D. Luffy who aspires to become king of the pirates by finding the One Piece. Luffy was inspired by a pirate named Red-Haired Shanks who used Luffy's home village as a base for a number of months. Although whether or not Luffy ever actually understands what a pirate actually is supposed to do is up in the air. And so Luffy builds a crew and he goes on adventures, making friends, adding to his crew, and making powerful enemies. I've been meaning to read the second and third omnibus volumes of One Piece for a while now. Much like with Orient, I'm not entirely sure. I liked these 3 volumes well enough when I read them a few months ago, almost a year ago now, probably. But I don't know. So I'm going to take this reading week to pretty much dip into both of them and decide if I want to continue with both series, which hopefully I will. Hopefully this whatever trepidation I have goes away. But I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to read them. I could read like the first 2 volumes of Orient and then sandwiching that with the 3 omnibus volumes of One Piece, and then the other 3 volumes of Orient at the end. So it'd be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Or I could do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Or I could do Monday and then Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday and Friday. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that, although when I do talk about these 2 series on Friday, I will basically talk about them all at once. So it'd be Orient and then One Piece. No matter how I do the actual reading of them. So there's that. And then that will leave me with 2 books on my February TBR. Persian Fire by Tom Holland. This is about the conflict between the Persian Empire and the Greek city-states before Alexander the Great, and which I'm reading for Historathon. And then the collected poetry of Nikki, Giovanni, 1968 to 1998, which I really need to reread. It has been several years since I read this volume. Now that will give me about a week, maybe a bit more than a week left of February to formulate a TBR. So I think I'm going to aim for reading the first 4 volumes of Kaiju number 8 by Naoya Matsumoto. So this is a series about monsters, Kaiju, who periodically attack Japan. In this setting, there's a special force within the Japanese Defense Forces that specialize in fighting Kaiju. An aspirant person who would like to join this force and who has made a career for himself cleaning up from past Kaiju incursions, gets bonded to some weird Kaiju that turns him into a human Kaiju hybrid. I rather like the first few volumes, but I don't know, I really want to revisit this series and give it another go and decide if I want to really get back into it. And also want to read the first 5 volumes of Record of Ragnarok by Azychika, Shinya Umemura, and Takumi Fukui. So this is a series about whether or not selected human champions can defeat gods who seek to destroy humanity. So every 1,000 years, the gods get together and decide whether or not humanity is worth saving for another 1,000 years. At the latest meeting of the gods, they decide that it's well past time that humanity gets wiped out. However, the Valkyrie disagree and force a tournament in which 13 human champions will face 13 selected gods. And the winner of the most matches will decide whether humanity survives or not. I would also like to get to the Autumn House Anthology of Contemporary American Poetry, edited by Michael Sims, Guiliana Certo, Christine Stroud. But if I don't get to it this month, I'll probably wait until April for that. And since part of the collapse of my reading plans for this week involved Historathon, I think I'm going to replace that with The Persian War by Donald Kagan. So this is a history of the Peloponnesian War. I read this, or had a go at this about 20 odd years ago, and I want to give it another reread. I wasn't too into it, I think, at the time, but we'll see. It is well past time for me to have another go at it, regardless. And if I don't manage to get to it this month, then there's still July at War, or BookTube at War, which is what I had originally planned for this book to be read as instead of for Historathon. So anyway, so that's my reading plan for this week and for the rest of the month. I'll be back in a few minutes with another video. So until then, thank you, BookTube. Have a great afternoon and stay safe.